story out of Kenya. They arrested some Belgian kids for stealing ants. Finally, something sneaking into Mexico. This parasite might take a look at Mexico and go, you know what, I could do better. Who gave money so that they could watch the ants?
Hey, welcome to That's What I'm Talking About with Fred Rubino, who is trapped deep in a locker somewhere. So now that me and the guy, I'm in cahoots with Joey the Box over here. But Fred is on location right now.
He's in a locker. A locker? What the hell's that about?
He's in a locker. He's in a Foot Locker. Well, let's go because we can't start the show unless Fred Rubino says he hates Candace Owens and wants to bang her. So let's go live to Fred Rubino for his Disgrazia of the week, my man. Freddie, how are you, buddy?
How are you, everybody? Gino, thank you for filling in. I have to take my wife to the doctor. She has high blood pressure, and it has to be dealt with today. So she claims I gave it to her.
Well, but you know, my wife hasn't said I gave it to her in quite a while. She's a feisty little lady.
Well, you'll see when she comes down with some kind of venereal disease, you gave it to her.
Good point, Fred. Well, it's good to see you. At least you're looking well, Fred.
Let's get right to the disgraziada of the week. The person who was the biggest disgrace of the week. This week, Gino, could you guess who it is? You can never guess.
I can never guess. You ready for this? I'm going to say the 60% of New York City voters that think that say they're going to vote for Mondami, a socialist.
Close.
Damn it.
How about you, Joe the Box? Do you know?
The biggest disgraziato disgrace? Is that what you're telling me? It's obviously Cuomo the homo.
Okay, we went. This week it is Zoran Mondami.
Well, I should get partial credit.
Me too.
I did. Please. I should get. As a socialist, I think I'm already given half credit, right?
Yeah, you have about half of a lot. Half talent, half brains.
Thank
you. Anyway, Zoran Mondami went on this week at a press conference and started crying, shedding tears that at the press conference for his aunt who was in fear after 9/11 because she could not wear her hijab, whatever that thing is that covers their ugly faces. So she couldn't wear it on the subway, and she lived in fear after 9/11. And so he made 9/11 into this Islamophobia event instead of the murder of 3,000 people. But it gets better, because after he did that and cried about his poor aunt who lived in fear, the New York Post, who I love. Don't you love the New York Post?
everyone, just make him look normal. Lean to the left. Hey, you're fine.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat, the Staten Island Ferry. Don't you love the New York Post? The New York Post did a little digging, a little bit, and they found out that his aunt never, ever wore a hijab.
Are you kidding?
Ever. But it gets better. His aunt wasn't even in New York after 9/11 or at 9/11. She wasn't in America after 9/11. She was in Tanzania, which I've only seen it in National Geographic episodes, topless Tanzanians.
Yeah, and they don't fly in planes in Tanzania. They just spin in circles and go, rah, 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 rah. Anyone watch Bugs Bunny? Anyone? Thank you.
She's the devil. She's the Tasmanian. No, that's Tanzania. That's Africa. Okay.
Like it matters.
You have half of geography. Yeah. So this guy is caught red-handed. Thank goodness there's still a couple of reporters who told him, hey, remember yesterday when you were crying over your aunt being Islamophobic and she couldn't wear on the New York City subway. We found out that she wasn't even in America and she never wears one. His response was not, I'm sorry, was not, you caught me. His response was, oh, I was referring to a cousin. Not
His
saying
father's
what
cousin, I believe it was.
That's what he's saying.
They lie.
So-
they lie. Well,
He's a disgraceful piece of garbage, and his aunt, as they like to say in other parts of Tanzania.
Very good.
You like that, right? His aunt, who raised him probably in Tanzania, is a disgrace too, and she's not even worth buying the Tanzania edition of Nat Geo when they're topless.
If you don't get Joe, what do you think of all this?
Well, I think it's a complete disgrace. I think that the Islamic Nation or the whatever they're singing at 12 o'clock in the afternoon over there in Dearborn, or now I understand in New York City, they got a whole city block that they can wah, 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 wah. And honestly, they want to kill us. I don't know. I got a little problem with that.
The bottom line is, in my opinion, okay, so politicians lie. We know that. But anyone still listening to the mainstream media has to be out of their mind. But I must be out of my mind to not realize people are still listening to the mainstream media, because these are lying liars who lie. And when he said the day after 9/11, I was here the day after 9/11. Real New Yorkers know the day after 9/11, just like both sides of the aisle were holding hands and singing God Bless America. Everybody, whether you're Muslim or human, whether you were Jewish or well-liked, it didn't matter in this city. Everyone was holding hands, singing Kumbaya. So that's a lie. Everyone lies. And the same thing is going in the two most important cities, or at least used to be in this country. This one right here and the one across the country in L.A. What a game last night, where Gavin Newsom is running and will run for president and just has a campaign of lies saying, oh, he's on a show with two black guys. Yes, colored fellas, Joe. Two black guys. And he's acting just like Hillary did with the hot sauce, saying, oh, I grew up poor and I ate the white bread. That is more racist than any Tanzania joke Fred has done in the past 5 minutes. And he lies and says he was poor. Meanwhile, they're showing pictures of his yearbook where he won most stylish. They show another picture of him with his 4 friends. 2 of them are Gettys. They're all lying. And let me say this. Any gay person that votes for Mamdani, I want you to fly to his other country, because he has dual citizenship, which probably explains that third world country you were just talking about his cousin in I think it's Zimbabwe. I think that's where it is, where it's illegal to be gay. You're fine, Joe. Stay here. It's illegal to be gay. So he will not denounce he will not denounce his citizenship, and he will not sit there and talk about gay marriage as being legal or illegal, but vote for him and then get mad when a guy in his 50s or 60s drops the word fag and you're like, oh, that's so hateful. It's not. The man you're going to vote for is hateful. And the problem with this stupid city is Cuomo's a bigger piece of garbage, because he murdered all the elderly voters that would have run on the Democratic ticket. And they want Sleewater dropout. Suck it. Your thoughts?
Let me just say one thing about what you just said with that whole thing with the gays. The gays, first of all, nobody's anti-gay in America. Everybody is together. We all have gay.
Nobody is.
I always said, sodomy, don't bother me. But what I am now
I'm stealing that.
I hope you're feeling that.
I didn't say that this weekend in lockup. But at any rate, go on, Fred. Please.
So these people are against someone like Trump, who has been tirelessly giving them every equal right, even more rights than heterosexuals in some cases. And then they embrace a guy whose basic religion is to kill homosexuals. Now, so that's...
Amen. Oh, wait, that was a bad time to say. Go on, Fred.
Now, let me tell you something. They think they are solving a problem in New York. And I hate to be one of the people who say, we got to do this and show everybody how we hit rock bottom. but it's going to get really, really bad. The whole middle class is done, and the poor people think they're going to hit the jackpot, but they're not.
Well, they're feeling it now. The food stamps are done, right? So they're going to be starving pretty soon, But honestly, it's the Democrat against the Democrat on one side, and Curtis Lee was the best choice as far as I'm concerned. There's nobody.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, because he's a conservative for New York. I mean, I don't know what's going on in these other major states, like the Citarelli thing right across the river in New Jersey, where they're like, if the New York Times is the worst paper in the world, and they sit there, of course, because it's got a big New Jersey readership, and they're pushing the election over there. And they're like, oh, this Mickey Sherrill's really good. She's a piece of garbage, okay? And they're like, well, the only reason she won't win is because people won't vote for women. Yep. Stop telling me. I guess I don't have to say yep when they say a minute. Stop telling us that we don't like women. Stop telling us that we don't like gays. Stop telling us that we don't like blacks. Stop it, because I'll tell you what people don't like. Us. Straight white men over 50. You're done with us, and that's a goddamn shame, because we've lived a long life and we know a lot of stuff, and we got here by liking people and being intelligent and speaking our minds and speaking it properly. So stop listening to woke children with pierced. Any woman with a white liberal women are going to destroy this country. Am I wrong, Fred?
Oh, let me just say, there's going to be he's one of the things he's promising: free MTA, free trains and buses. I can tell you right now, from the day one,
there's nothing free right now. There's not going to be anything free. Don't live the dream. You know what's not free? These commercials coming up. We'll be back right after.
That's a segue.
Robert Cornicelli doesn't write for attention. In What is White, Cornicelli exposes an uncomfortable truth. Whiteness isn't an identity, it's a weapon, one used to divide us, while the system thrives on guilt and control. It's for everyday Americans ready to push past guilt, question the lies, and reclaim who they are. Proceeds support the Veteran Recovery Coalition, helping veterans rebuild their lives. What is White? Available now.
Who broke the television?
I can hear you, Gino.
Can we laugh at that? Sounds a little mean.
As of this week, public gay sex will now be mandatory.
Am I the only one that see his lips move?
Cheek bones, baby.
I'm sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Hey, fellow patriots, it's Cindy Gross here, host of Right for America, from your favorite place, the America First Warehouse. You've seen me show on my show so many products from this country's #1 most patriotic manufacturer with close to 400 products. You need to exchange the products you use in your house to this company and make your dollars count in our country.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Watch me. Welcome back to the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue in America. I am in studio, but the man, the myth, with the fucking boss, but the man, the myth, the legend, who will still steer the ship with the next story in our second segment, please. Fred, what's grinding your gears this Tuesday morning?
Well, I don't have gears, but I do grind. But let me just finish up with Mondami for 1 minute. When you give free bus and free transit, what you will have within 24 hours are full buses. People are not going to get off. All winter, you will not be able to use the bus system anymore. Everyone's going to come up. Hey, what are you doing? Let's go hang out. Let's just get on the bus and go back and forth and hang out and play the radio and smoke weed. The destruction of mass transit will be within the first week. You will not be able to travel. They'll be full. Let me just say that. What do you think about
I don't understand how people are still this stupid, because when they say free buses, that just means there's no fare. People will have to pay for the drivers. And Mamdani, like, once you're talking to idiots, you guys know, you're watching us. Once you're talking to idiots, you realize they'll believe anything. And he literally said, and with the free buses, the drivers will be safer. How will the drivers be safer when every homeless person, it's a good place to sleep, take my word for it, every crack addict, every idiot who needs a place to hang out will be on that bus? It will be more dangerous. It will friggin' stress the police system again, which, oh my God, we don't need to defund the police, which he believes. He says, oh, well, we'll just send social workers instead. The guy's an idiot. And it makes it harder and harder to listen to anyone. And Haskins, Hakeem Jeffries, I would say Haskins. Hakeem Jeffries has his back. Sanders has his back. This is why the Democratic Party has no leaders. If you ask people who the leader of the Democratic Party is, they're no one. And just when you think it's someone, they'll back up a socialist. And just when you think it's someone, they'll say, oh, yeah, Kamala Harris lost because she's a woman. Stop it. Stop it.
And you know who's going to suffer the most? The inner cities. The inner city will suffer the most. The black neighborhoods. The 4 people going to work in those black neighborhoods will not be able to take the bus.
Yeah.
So that's out. Those 4 people are screwed.
Yeah, I would say they're definitely going to be sleeping in there. I mean, it's I did see this, and you're going to kick out of this. What happened in Washington D.C. Very similar thing, but opposite. Trump went in there, he cleaned it out. So they had these before pictures when they were sleeping in the subways, and it was just chaos. You couldn't even get in there until today. It was wonderful, peaceful, and sweet, and people don't mind getting in. They're safe. He cleaned it up. When is that going to happen around here? Maybe Mandami can make it happen.
Now, the New York City transit system has been losing millions and millions of dollars as we speak. And that's with fares. There are huge parts of the city that just don't pay their fare. But when no one pays their fare, I don't understand. I don't think people realize, and I don't know why Cuomo or Sliwa hasn't just come out with the facts that the MTA pays some of the biggest pensions. And I'll tell you why. If you are a bus driver or a train conductor, they base your salary when you retire, your pension, on the last 2 or 3 years. So they work 20-hour days for a year to inflate their salary. And a lot of times they retire with almost 100%. And year after year after year, without collecting funds, without collecting the fare, they will go bankrupt in 6 months tops.
They're going to take
Nobody
the money
knows.
from the rich people like you, Freddie. Aren't you in one of the rich billionaires?
I am not. I'm so poor I can't even pay attention. So
I mean,
things are tough at the Rubino household.
We were sleeping.
Oh, sorry.
Things are tough. Last night I had to jerk off the dog to feed the cat. So things are getting tough here. But
that is the mentality.
Dino, you have a cat.
I do have a cat. 6. She's 6. She's 7. She turned 7 last month. She's a beautiful little angel. But this is the mentality that we're dealing with. And as people get progressively dumber, and this is the beauty of them getting progressively dumber, they think they're smarter. And it's easy to convince stupid people that you're intelligent. And they think they're making brilliant statements when really I would love them to say, I just voted for a man with dual citizenship where his other country it's okay, where it's illegal to be gay and they murder them, where he will not renounce the Antifada, where he will not. This is the guy where he's taxing all of us, saying everything's free, but the taxes will go up while crime runs rampant because he doesn't like the police. And he lies about being all these things, and he's just a socialist. I'm a democratic socialist. You're not. You're a socialist, and you're going to ruin this city. I give it one more year. I give it one more year.
And I can tell you another thing. The Jews in New York, the Hasidic Jews will be okay. Because you know why? They hire their own security, and they will not let these people into their neighborhoods. And I don't blame them, because he's going to create. Now, if you're a Jew and you live in, like, your neighborhood's 10% Jewish, 15% Jewish, whatever that percentage is, if that's where you live, you are screwed, because he is going to create this atmosphere where if you go and attack the Jews or do something horrifically anti-Semitic, you won't be prosecuted, just like they're doing in the colleges.
I honestly thought he was going to say, if you attack the Jews or do something terrible. Kaboom!
Yeah, so the Jews have to unite here, and they have to make sure that this doesn't happen. And they got to do it for the most selfish reasons, to protect the safety of their family and their children. To let this go is insanity.
Freddie, the whole thing is insane because there's a couple of 28,000 of them. They're going to vote for this guy for whatever reason. What do you think about the great friends at WABC Radio? You might be familiar with those people. How much are they loving Mandami?
Let me tell you something. The people at WABC Radio, who I know personally, they have turned their back on Giuliani, and they did terrible things to the greatest Italian American maybe this country has ever seen. And also, now they're turning their back on Curtis Sliwa, who was their whole station. The man was on 10 hours a day on everybody's show to make it more interesting. This is the most unloyal, backstabbing, front-running, and they have some nerve calling themselves a conservative.
I've got to interrupt here and ask, because I listen to Cunha on ABC, and he shits on Mamdani all the time. Okay,
no, I said it sarcastically because what I did is they shit on Curtis Sliwa is what they did.
Okay,
yeah,
I apologize. I've sent them down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
but it wasn't even true. WABC does not want Mamdani, but they want their listeners to change from Curtis Sliwa, who ran their show, to now go to Cuomo,
which is terrible. Oh my God, I apologize then for misunderstanding what you were saying. I get very defensive because I'm in the heart of this crap, you know? Sitting there in East Harlem watching.
Did you vote already?
What's it? No.
Want me to drive you there or what?
I walk, look, I'm old school. I walk across the street to the school every morning, have a coffee, look at I'm kidding. But, and I vote right there across the street. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So I'm voting on the second.
A conservative radio station that has a guy who is the Republican frontrunner, who is running to restore sanity and safety and conservative values. How dare you turn your back on that candidate? You go all in with him. They're a disgrace.
Well, you're right, because I only listen to Cunha, but that whole, like, that is the, if they get behind Sliwa, that's got the chance. That's the first thing I would think of for him to use to take, at least make a dent in this election. And they're siding with that Cuomo. Like, have you seen the ads for Cuomo? They're basically, without saying it, they're saying, like, what else are we gonna do? We got to vote for this guy who screwed us over as mayor. That's basically his ad, and WABC is backing that, which is it's absolute. They should be the disgrazia of the week.
Well, I'll tell you who really is supporting him big time. I mean, besides Rudy Giuliani making make any endorsement, but you're friends with Scott Lebedo out of Staten Island. Have you seen what he's doing, Freddie?
I think Staten Island is the most patriotic borough in the United States, and Curtis Lee will definitely win Staten Island. But and Staten Island is the only borough that fought the cameras. They fought all of the nonsense, the vaccine, the closing of the stores. Staten Island is always at the forefront of being free and safe and fighting tyranny. And they are the greatest borough. Scott Lebedo's a great patriot. And I'm going to say it again because I can't say this enough. What they did to Rudy Giuliani is one of the most criminal acts this government has done in the last 50 years. They did to him worse than they did to Trump.
You're talking about the government down in Atlanta, or you're talking about WABC Radio.
Talking about Biden's. They're talking about the
whole
Biden administration, correct? The guy went from America's mayor, right, to public enemy. Oh, he lied about that. It's disgraceful. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to tell you though, because I want to go back to the WABC thing because I wanted to. I love the mayor, so I was invited to his 80th birthday party at a steakhouse in Manhattan. It was hosted by...
How's he going to eat a steak at that age?
Dude, it was hosted by the WABC Radio. So I show up, I knock on the door, I go, what happened? They go, oh, Rudy was fired. It's now at the Italian house around the corner. So I had to run around the corner, go to his birthday party that day. Was that crazy?
That's how they treat Rudy Giuliani. And let me tell you something. You can't get a greater man in every aspect of being a man than Rudy Giuliani.
You know who else is a great man? Joe the Boxer, letting us use this America Patriotic Warehouse, whatever you want to call it, every Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This isn't justice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com. The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
It's Tuesday here at the America First Warehouse. I am Joe the Box.
And I'm John the Blanket. Freddie Rubino here with my podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Coming to you live from the most patriotic venue in the land.
Welcome to Right for America.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve?
Fighting! Welcome to Tune In Tuesday of the Patriots Podcast, live streaming every Tuesday night at 7:30.
Another edition of On the Right Side here, and you can catch us weekly, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
And welcome to Liberty's Cage, where we rip the veil off America's broken justice system. Prisons that crush spirits and a society that shuns people who have paid their price.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
Welcome to Suffocating in Suburbia with me, your host, Stevie GB.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic, is that how you do, Fred, venue in all of the land. I'm here with Joe the Box, and of course, Freddie Rubino is still here. Thank God. He's having so much fun. He's like, what am I going to go watch? I'm going to go watch my wife take meds. Screw that. You're back. Fred, what's on your mind?
Well, we have another story that was big headlines this week on NBC, and it says that there was a man who was accused of holding 4 people captive for years in his basement, is now charged with murder. Gee, I wouldn't think a guy like that would murder people. He seems like such a nice guy.
But the way you say it, is it one of those 4 people, or was he just holding them in his basement? What? Hey, stay here, I'm going to go kill someone. I'm confused.
It was another person. He had the 4 people in his basement, and what I gathered from this is that what he did was an old trick. We've all done it. You keep your elderly person in the basement who's probably a relative, and you just take all their, their Social Security, their pension, and stuff like that. And he did that to 4 people, but then when they caught him, they went, wait a minute. Did you have anything to do with that other old lady that was murdered near your house? And so now they're charging him with that. I'm getting to think this guy could be difficult.
But here's my question. The 4 people living in the basement, they're probably so used to it, they're like, what are we going to do now?
You know
he's
what?
not there to take care of us.
Exactly. Why don't you go outside? Are you out of your mind? This guy was waiting on his hand and foot.
There's COVID out there.
In fact, I was bound by my hand and foot. I don't know. I don't know what goes on for these 4 people now.
Well, you got to. This is what you touched on. What I was thinking exactly. The man took care of them for years. They were old. And some of them were invalid. That's why they couldn't get out of the basement. Invalids are great. They had no trouble at all.
There was no handicap access?
They're at the hearing. Yeah, exactly. They're in wheelchairs, and it's just, they're at the hearing, and it's him and the 4 people over there. It's like, how do you plead? He goes, you're welcome. That's not a plea.
Listen, it gets cold in the Carolinas. He kept them warm.
Yeah.
He fed them. He probably wiped their ass. Isn't there a wipe your ass clause in elderly abuse cases?
I think you're confusing that with December, a different holiday. I don't know.
I'm saying every time you wipe the elderly's ass, every 5 wipes is equal to 1 slap.
I think he's doing it with the money he's stealing from them, so it's a trade-off, right?
So he's been taking care of these people. Now, okay, they couldn't leave. Listen, when my father got really old and he got a little dementia, if he went out, it was dangerous if he went out. He would just walk all over the fucking, who knows where he'd end up. So a lot of times my mother had like 2 locks on the door in case she wasn't watching so he wouldn't wander out. I'm thinking a good lawyer, is there a good South Carolina lawyer? That's an oxymoron.
I'm sure there is. Come on.
Yeah, you know the skid mark rule between a dead skunk and a dead attorney in the road?
No.
Yeah, the skid mark's in front of the skunk.
I've heard many like that. I have.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's any Jews in the Carolinas.
Fred. Sorry, go on. What?
I don't know if there's any Jews in the Carolinas, but what I can say is you should get a good lawyer and say, I took care of these people. Now, as far as the murdered woman, come on. Now you're just throwing accusations around.
He's like, his plea could be like, look, I thought I could have a 5th. My hands are full with these 4.
Right.
I just couldn't take on another client.
Trying to keep up with the inflation problem that we have around here.
And unlike the other captives, she couldn't take a punch.
Exactly. Can I help it if she can't live on the one meal a day I'm giving her? How'd she die? Did he murder? Did he choke her, shoot her, starve her? What'd he do?
They didn't give any information about the dead woman. All they said was a lot of his abuse from the 4 captives was financial and that he wouldn't let them out of the basement. And so if you go to any nursing home, a shitty one, you know what I'm talking, the Jamaican nurses and the Haitian nurses, they are abusing people every day in every nursing home.
Yeah, you see those vids.
Yeah, right. We see them all over YouTube. So where is the line between, hey, these people are poor, they can't afford to be taken care of, I'm taking care of them in my basement. That must be a nice basement. I want to see that basement.
You know what that really is? It's like because when you hear that story, you think of these horror stories or these where it's a small basement, it's like the dark, the wood paneling. But come on, like there are some really, although it is South Carolina, which is swampy.
You know, I'm sure it was luxurious.
What's that?
I'm sure it was a luxurious time of their life and posh and enjoyable.
No, I mean, is it furnished?
If it was
is it
3,000 feet, where are they gonna go?
Yeah. I'd have to, you know what? I'd have to see
How many bathrooms were down there?
I'd have to see the basement now. I'm really.
Was it a drive-in shower with the wheelchair?
I need to know how old these people were, and I need to see the basement.
And you know, I read the whole story, which is a lie because I only read half of it.
Sure.
But what I did see in that story is they didn't mention that they were in poor health.
Freddie, where do you get these stories?
This was NBC this week. So the story, it was on their website. The story didn't say they were emaciated or they didn't get their meds. They didn't get their... None of that. This guy went and picked up the meds and gave it to them and wiped their ass and fed them. I get more abuse at home on a Monday night when I'm trying to watch football.
Yeah, well, you got abuse if you had money on the Redskins last night. I said Redskins.
That's not the name of the team.
Ugh. The Redskins is not a racist team name. It's a football team name.
Dude, I love the Redskins. I grew up a giant Redskins, and not that I was a Redskins guy, because I wasn't.
Did you see Trump trolling? This is months ago.
Change the name back.
He's like, I don't know if we're going to give you money for a new stadium, if you don't change the name back. And Trump is Trump is so good at trolling the left. 2 things I saw this week. If we could just do a little side road here, sidebar. One. The Democrat, whatever you want to call it, Twitter, which is called Blue Sky.
I blocked it.
Yeah, well, the White House just opened an account on Blue Sky just to troll them, just to fuck with them some more.
Fantastic.
He put a video out, they lose their mind, and then he's got Besant saying, yeah, Trump will probably run for a 3rd term in 2028. And then Trump's like, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, well, what if you run they're saying you'll run as vice president. And Trump they're so not used to people talking to them like, oh, yeah, people. And he's like, I don't do that. I wouldn't do that because that would be too cute. Like, that's exactly what every normal person is saying. He's like, Trump, I love you, but don't do that. He's like, I ain't going to do that. That would be too cute. But he stops short of saying, I'm not going to do it. And he just keeps fucking. I'm sorry if you have a problem with language, but language is a beautiful thing, and that is the perfect word. He's fucking with them. That's all he's doing, and it's driving them crazier and crazier. And while he's doing that, am I wrong to say this? They're spending more time saying, we've got to stop Trump. How many people do you see running for office in any state, and their ending thing it's a Democrat, and we'll keep Trump from knocking on our door? Anybody in their sane M-I-N-D brain would be like, why are you keeping the president out of our state? So if you're stupid enough to want the president not involved with your state, he should be like, all right, you're done. I will make sure I don't do anything for your stupid, backward-ass, cousin inbreeding state. All right?
And you know what? He has a pension.
Doesn't his father's cousin make him his own cousin?
What's that?
What he has the penchant to do is to just do what the people elected him want. And they can't handle that because a lot of politicians come in with their own little agenda, and they're backed with money from that agenda. The trans agenda, the socialist agenda, all of this shit. He don't need money. So all he does is he listens to people and says, what do you want? And the people said, you know what we want the Redskins back. Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he didn't comment on it until one of the heads of the Indian nations went to him and said, you know, that's our word, Redskin. You called us all kinds of names, but between the Indian tribes, we refer to ourselves as Redskin, and we want to be called Redskin. Can you please change it back? And then he's no big fan. He just said, if the Indians want their word back, give it to them. They can't handle it.
The logo is based on an Indian chief. It's not a just made-up picture. I'm sure people are screaming it if they're watching, but like you could look it up. That logo is an Indian chief that was so proud to have been able to pose for it. Okay? And he posed for it standing up, not lying on his back like Marcus Mariota when I just need him to lose by 11. Sorry, what were you saying? I'm really going to need to see that. By the way, the 4 people in that basement still think they're called the Redskins. See how I brought it back?
You did. He brought it right. Bang! Kaboom!
I thought the Redskins is like a diaper rash from those old people. They're the true Redskins.
By the way, I'll take us out on this, and this is beautiful. Speaking of Trump and trolling and Native Americans, the woman that took over for Fauci at the NIH, I forget her name, it's not worth mentioning. They fired her, like, we don't want you. And she's like, you can't fire me. I said, yes, you can. You're picking up where Fauci left off. We want nothing to do with it. And you know where they reassigned her? In charge of Native American medicines. Maybe you go back to the start and learn how the human body is amazing. I see the time. And the earth heals us. You'll learn that. And just like you'll learn more when you come back in 15.
The America First Ultra MAGA store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA store.
Gold and silver, it's God's money, and we all need it. Unfortunately, the whole precious metals industry is rigged in favor of the wealthy people. In fact, it's so complicated that 95% of all Americans don't own any precious metals. What the industry needed was a way for us to buy fractional units of precious metals, get free storage in a secure vault, have them insured, take physical possession of the metals, or instantaneously liquidate the assets at one of the highest buyback prices in the industry. Well, now there is. It's called a sound money account, and everybody needs one. With a membership, you can start buying gold and silver with as little as $1. Now that fits everyone's budget. Also, our members can gift gold and silver between each other in our Sound Money accounts. What a great way to pass on generational wealth. You'll be able to rest easier knowing you have the security and flexibility found in having your very own Sound Money account. Please scan the QR code or go to tafwsoundmoney.com to learn more. The America First Warehouse wants every American to have access to owning their very own precious metals.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
They're not going to find her body. They're going to, hey, welcome back to the America First Warehouse, where I'm taking off my glasses so I look 3 years younger. We're back, the most patriotic venue in America, here with Joe the Box, who's sitting in. I can't thank him enough. Such a good time. And, of course, the man, the myth, who steers the ship right into the mountain. Fred Rubino, what do you got for us, buddy?
Well, let me just close off on the basement story.
Oh.
I believe that you draw the line on abuse and not abuse. Did the basement have cable?
Or streaming.
Or streaming. If they did, that's not abuse. I'm sorry. If they got their meds and they had cable, that's anyone's existence. This is a good existence. Give me meds and cable, and I'll just tune out.
Maybe, what is it, closed circuit? And instead of cable, it's closed circuit, and he's just showing disaster things like the world. Like, there's a nuclear war, and we have to stay indoors. Like, he's killing it. So how do you keep getting a fresh steak? Oh, with your money.
Or he's just showing the first floor. Where the other people are.
Quiet down. We're trying to survive a Holocaust up here.
Hey, last story, biggest story of the week. The NBA caught rigging games.
He said NBA rigging games.
Right.
Okay.
The NBA
stands for... One of the guys who was doing it, let's call him... I forget the guy's name. He makes $96 million.
Chauncey Billups?
My rigger. That guy can rig. Now, let me just say one thing about this. This has been going on since the mafia. It's been going on for years and years. The mafia would get... There's always gamblers in sports. So you would get a gambler and say, hey, he's into us for 300, 400 grand.
Yep.
What are we going to do? Tell him to come in and tell him to throw 3 interceptions next week, and we're even. Or if you're a pitcher, make sure you give up 5 runs in the first 3 innings. It happens all the time. And these people are so stupid.
He's right.
That in the age of social media, look out. In the age of social media, that's that boat again.
They bragged
about it. How do you not get caught if you brag about it? It's so stupid. Let me tell you something about that guy. You give the mob 3 games a year in their pocket, you could walk down the street and just point to someone and say, I want him dead. That old lady, South Carolina, I want her dead. And they're dead. But you have such power. Why would you open your big mouth?
But Fred, and I'm curious what you think about this, because I was talking about this on my show. I do a little show called In Hot Water, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's over on Rumble. And I just got my YouTube back. So let me say this. Fuck you, YouTube. It's good to be back, but they basically had to give it back. It was taken for medical misinformation, and they basically gave it back to me saying, yeah, there's bigger fish to fry than you, and everyone's bitching, and we were wrong, and we lied. But this is... what I was talking about yesterday on my show, and I'd love to know your thoughts, both of you, because we're all old school. I grew up with a bookie, right? I grew up, I still have him, like, he's a buddy of mine in Philly. You can't make this up. And you bet 50 here. I'm like, I'd never get a gambling app because it's like Candy Crush. I'd bet $1 here, $1 there. You could pick up your phone at any moment and gamble. But here's the thing. You can pick up your phone at any moment and gamble. And here's the thing about it. They're tracking it. I don't know if you saw this, but before the NBA, over the summer, there were 2 pitchers on the Cleveland Guardians, see also Redskins debate, that over the first it was one, then 2 weeks later it was another that got suspended and investigated for gambling. And let me tell you, I can't remember their names. You could look it up. You're never going to see them again, because this is what happened. One guy, you come to find out, there was an inordinate amount of bets that came across, I like saying it wrong, the gambling app, right? And they reported it, and so they investigated the guy. Then 2 weeks later, I don't know if anyone saw this, another pitcher for the Indians, I guess that's why they, again, was suspended. This is what they were doing. They were going to you can bet in baseball anything. You can bet balls and strikes. So they got an inordinate amount of bets. It's amazing. On a ball being thrown on the first pitch of the second inning. Now, here's where it gets great. If you look at that pitch, Fred, Joey, like if I'm throwing it, if I'm throwing it right at this camera, instead of it going 60 feet 6 inches, it goes 40 feet, it bounces, and he literally throws it like that, spikes it, and the batter can't swing because the first guy, they threw it, and it was high and out, and the guy swung at it. It's like, we got to make sure it's so obvious, and then they see an inordinate amount of betting, and that's a lot of that happened with the NBA. Like, we got a ton of bets that this Billups guy is going to play the under in minutes. And you said it, Fred, back to you. That's where he's like, hey, if you want to make some money, I'm taking myself out of the game with a fake injury. So it's so much easier to spot now with the phones. So it has been going on since the beginning of time. And trust me, this thing, I would argue, and I'm asking now, do you think that the mob that does this all the time is going to be like, all right, we got to adapt again. We're really good at this. What kind of scheming Italians are if we can't get around this? Your thoughts, guys?
Why is the mob only Italian?
Because we're good at what we do.
What does NBA stand for? Nothing but
no
assholes.
Comment. Okay. Why'd you mute
my
mic?
There's a Jewish mafia. It's called the Kosher Nostra.
Not bad. Not bad.
Now, let me say this. Not only now, these guys are so stupid. I don't want to say a certain group of people are stupid.
The N in the B. Or is it the N's in the BA? Clever.
Yes.
Negroes. People.
Let me tell you something. Do you have to be told exactly how to fix the game? Are you that stupid?
They are.
That they have to now sit you down and go, look, you can't throw the ball 100 feet away from the plate on the second pitch. You have
to see it.
They're so stupid. The basketball one, they had this mobster on, and the guy was saying, it is so easy to fix the NBA that in order to get caught, you really got to be stupid.
Yep.
So all you got to do as one of the players is say, the bet is that I will score 15 points. Okay? Just bet under that I won't. Don't tell anybody else. It's just the mob making the money. That's it.
Yeah.
And not all your friends who are on the app calling in. It's so stupid. So all you got to do is say, okay, in this game, the first quarter, I'm a little off. Okay, I only scored 4 points. The second quarter, you go to steal the ball, you collide with the guy, you start limping, and that's it. Everybody saw the collision, and you're out of the game. It's not that hard. But when you just stay in the game and just walk off the court and go, oh, I'm not feeling that good. And then there was $100 million worth of bets that you would not finish. They're so stupid, these people. They deserve to get caught.
Oh, I agree. And the only thing dumber than them, for lack of a better word, is anybody that gambles and like, well, then it's fixed. Anyone that will ever laid a bet and didn't realize it's fixed. A lot of it's fixed. If anyone that's like, oh, the NFL's fixed, then don't gamble on it. Okay? The NBA, then don't gamble on MLB. Then don't gamble on it. Don't bitch. Anyone that really gambles does it for the rush. That's why we do it. But anyone that's complaining about this as a gambler, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Don't complain and bungee jump.
Yeah.
There you go. And I can tell you, these guys are getting millions and millions of dollars, so a lot of them say no. and I don't need it. But college, if you are a college player and a starter on any team and you don't throw one game a year, I'd be shocked. You're not Italian. We take away your Italian card.
Well, unless you're one of those guys that makes millions with the new NIL, what is it called, the NIL? But yeah, you're right. Like, that goes all the way back. Isn't that ties into the Goodfellas, right? That's the Boston College point shaving scandal from like the 70s. That was the guys like they arrest him for all the drugs. He's like, yeah, we were making money on Boston College. Legendary ESPN 60 for 60.
And I know people who were involved with the track. Believe it or not, me being Sicilian.
I don't believe it at all, Fred. Please. We're shocked.
And
Look how shocked he is. Look at the shock on his face.
It was common knowledge that once a week they would pick a jockey that needed the money and say once a week, this is your race, no matter what horse you were on, and you're going to win. And it was just for the jockey. The jockey would tell somebody to bet.
Was it? Like that legendary scene in Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield when he's winning and then the jockey's going like this. If you haven't seen Easy Money, turn this off right now. We only got a minute 9 left. Turn it off right now and go watch it. You don't look like browsers. Anyway, back to you, Fred, for the last minute. Talk to me, Goose.
Common knowledge that they all got together. I would be shocked if you are a college player and you need a couple of bucks and they don't say, hey, dude, I'm throwing 3 interceptions. Go make your money for the year. I'd be shocked.
They still say that about what was it, Super Bowl III. They say it was fixed for the NFL, but there's also some gambling, allegations because they ran this one play where they would throw Indianapolis. I can't remember. They'd throw a flea flicker or something, and they did it twice, and they always threw. It'd be like if every time I ran it, I threw it to you, Fred. But then and it always worked. Then in the Super Bowl, you're wide open, but I throw it to Joe, who's covered. They did it twice. It seems like it was fixed. I'll tell you what else you should fix. You should fix your sights on the YouTube page at America First Warehouse. Tune in every Tuesday. Just great programming all day. We really need to push this YouTube page. But Fred, take us home. 8-6. What do you got?
We'll be back next week at the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue in all of the land. Tune in, come by, and participate.
See you next Tuesday.